Hello and welcome back. We're going to have a look at this terrifically red model. The Lord Westwood came along in 73, catalogue number R.765, and as we've just heard, she does have exhaust steam sound, or chuff chuff sound as it's commonly referred to. We can see the scraper there on the rear axle, and we can just see the sound box through the hole in the bottom of the chassis of the tender there. So very red, lots of rivets, very shiny, great big coal load. Now all they've done, I think, is use the mouldings for the Albert Hall from the late 60s to make this great, perhaps gimmicky model. So we'll pop that down and have a swift look at the locomotive. Plated wheels, lovely white bands around the boiler, copper chimney cap, very shiny black smoke box door, isn't it? Get my fingers out of the way there and we can see the buffer beam. She's sustained a little bit of damage. I don't think she's that pristine, this model. Plenty of running, lots of wear here and there, but plenty of life left in it. Now she does have the magnadhesion. She's a very, very powerful model. And lovely those black wheels actually with the plated tyres, aren't they? It really does stand out. Metal handrail on the cab there, and we do have some cab detail present. Let's have a quick look at that. Nice big screw through the back of the plate there to hold the chassis and the body together. Just have a swift look at the other side. You can see some wear here. The white paintwork on the handrail has begun to sort of wear away, and Lord Westwood's name proudly sitting there. Look at all those rivets there on the steps. Really is terrific, isn't it? A little bit of overspray here and there. A little bit of wear through. But as I say, it is a rather splendid model. Not to be taken too seriously, I don't think. It is a fictitious model. And I think it's rather splendid all the same. I think you could do nothing but have fun with a model like this. We'll just pop this down. And then we'll have a quick look at the catalogue. This is the 73 catalogue. And there she is on the top of the page there. And it says R.765, the Lord Westwood. A lavishly decorated model in gleaming red with white markings. She has magnadhesion, exhaust steam sound, and plated wheels, and is designed to be the pride of the line. Definitely going to stand out on any layout, that, isn't it? Now the number on the tender, some people have said that this is the factory telephone number, but also people say this is the factory telephone number, so maybe two different numbers at the factory perhaps. So we do have this model on the layout today, and that's R.455, the industrial tank locomotive with the very shiny dome. We've seen that in a video quite recently. I'll leave a link to that in the description box. And it says here, an eye-catching model with a sparkling performance to match. Now, she does tear away a little bit. She's quite a quick runner. So both these models were available 73 to 75, I think. So we'll just pop this to one side. And we'll have a quick look at a set that the Lord Westwood was in 1974 only, from what I've read. And the set is R542, and rather a lot of items in the set. There's an overview picture. Really terrific amount of pieces in there, isn't there? We'll just look along the whole set together. Level crossing, signals, station building, car transporter, brake van, and what looks to be a cardboard tunnel with plastic ends. And just have a look over what was in the Lord Westwood set. A complete railway layout. A really wonderful gift that has all the fascination and enjoyment of model railways. A large loop and siding, bridge, tunnel, level crossing, station, signal, and rolling stock with operating features. I believe there was a side tipping car here. I don't have one of those, sadly. Yet to find one. 2 uncoupling ramps, System 6 track, of course, by this time. So really quite a splendid amount. You would have had to be a very lucky child, I think, to receive one of those. I believe it was rather expensive. So I had some trouble trying to work out what to run with this model. I sort of naturally thought of Great Western style coaches with its relationship to the Albert Hall model. But when I put them on the layout and they didn't look right really, I was looking for something else, and then had all that interesting freight in the catalogue. We saw that really wonderful set, but I thought that was perhaps not quite right either for this particular video. So in the end I came up with something rather bright instead. Just have a look at this. Terrific sound, isn't it? Or it could drive you mad, of course. That's a great green and red utility van, and these coaches from the early cheap sets, starter sets, sort of red and yellow ones, and just for good measure, we've got a horse box and a coal truck and a Western Region guard van on the back there, so I was rather pleased with this selection. It's definitely fun to look at, makes you smile, and it's another good use of those coaches I got earlier in the year. I'll leave a link to the video we saw them running in slightly earlier in the year. There we go, storming around that third radius curve now. Listen to it as she slows down, that chuff chuff sound just changing in tone, and we'll bring her to a gentle stop. I've just removed both very large securing screws from both parts of the model. This one's from the Locomotive and this one's from the Tender. They really are rather large things, aren't they? And threaded right the way along them, interestingly. We'll pop those down and have a look at the underside of the Locomotive body. We've got built in Britain, and we've got trying Hornby rather than Hornby Railways, even though this is definitely a Hornby Railways model, the Lord Westwood, but using the body moulding of the Albert Hall R.765, the original number there, still in the moulding. Fairly tidy condition, as we've seen at the top of the model. There is a little bit of wear through in the paintwork here and there. Still fairly tidy and plenty of life left in her. We'll pop her down. We'll have a look at the Tender body moulding here. Again, bright red, sprayed up in black for the black areas. Nice shiny load of coal there. And I have installed a little bit of foam there just to deaden the chuff chuff sound a little bit. It was a bit sharp, and that sort of rounded it off a little bit by putting that in there. And the drawbar, usually a loose thing there, goes onto a little plastic peg. It seems to have had something glued over the top of it to allow it to rotate a little. So we'll just leave that alone and hope that does its job for now. So we'll pop that down. We'll just have a quick look at the Tender. Now I have added additional weight to this. We can see I've popped some weight on there, and this is the sound box there. If it didn't have the original weight, this rear wheel was tending to stick. There wasn't enough weight in it to pull the scrape around on that arm there, and it was just sticking. So the extra weight's allowed that to work. So we'll just pop the sound box off. It just clips straight into position. We'll pop the Tender base down for a second. There it is. Fairly simple affair. This metal strip with some abrasive stuff glued to it. Let's see if we can get some focus in here. There we go. And if I run my fingernail, we can hear the effect there. So we've just got that sort of membrane there. A little bit like an old gramophone, really. So we'll pop that down. Have a quick look at the Tender base. The original weight there going a little bit rusty. Just have a look under there. I think we've got built in Britain, and we've also got Triang's name still on there rather than Hornby Railways. Not even Trying Hornby, just Triang. Great suspension detail. We'll just pop that down. Now if you have a look at the insert picture, you can see how the motor runs. I don't think we can use the word smooth, but it's definitely strong and lively, isn't it? So just have a quick look at it. Done plenty of running in the life of this model. Those nice shiny connection rods. And the motor's definitely been around the block a bit, but still does the business. Got some white grease in there. I quite like to use white grease where we've got metal and plastic gears coming together, it seems to work. Just pop this round, have a look at the other side. There we go. I do quite like the plated wheels on this particular model. Sometimes they look too bright, but I think bright is all part of this model, isn't it? Just watch those drive wheels and listen to the sound she makes as she moves off. Now I think that's absolutely terrific. Magnet adhesion working at its best there, taking advantage of the steel track and the magnet situated between the two rear driving wheels. As she comes down the incline section, she picks up a lot of speed, even though I'm backing off the power. There's just so much weight there, pushing her down the hill. And then we'll back off the power a little now as we swing back underneath the elevated section there and approach all the point work outside of the station. I think this utility van we've got in this rake today is just great fun to look at, along with the Lord Westwood. I think it complements it very well. Now, it did appear in the old Smoky set only, and it was available between 64 and 65, and it has a catalogue number of R.765, although I don't believe it was ever sold separately. I was very pleased to get this one. A great big securing screw right through the centre of the model there. So it's got all those opening doors for extra play value. And those bars in the windows, not quite square, are they? We'll have a quick look at the other side. There we go. A great fun thing to have on the layout. We'll just pop that one down. Now this red and yellow coach, also appeared in the old Smoky set, but also was used in lots of starter sets and had a catalogue number of R720, although when it was listed in the old Smoky set, RS61, it had a catalogue number of R724. Now, over the years, this coach was available with buffers, with interior detail and without interior detail, with and without glazing. And at some point in the production, they used brake coach roofs with the periscopes on the back, even though it was the moulding for the composite coach. So I really like these. They're great fun. These appeared in a video a little earlier in the year. They're available between 63 and 67 for starter sets. So we'll just pop that one down. So we'll just have a look at this brake van. This is the Western Region brake van, R124, long-running model from 1955 to 1970. We'll just have a swift look around that. This one's got open axle boxes and sleeved wheels, a little bit of glue on the bottom there where it's been put back together. So we'll just pop that one back down. And then we've got the coal truck, R13. So this is just the open wagon with an additional coal load as an open wagon. It was just R10. You can see the numbering on the side there is beginning to wear away. So lovely shade of brown. This was available between 1950 and 1961. So we'll pop this one down. Another long-running model, R123, the horse box, available 55 to 71. Really is quite a stunning colour, isn't it? Again, open axle boxes, great big hole in the bottom of the model there, metal chassis. So just a fun group of models, I thought, today. Just switching points number 8 there, so we can move her from the outside line to the inside line. Very well behaved with that point work. And then we'll switch those behind them and off around the layout. That diesel electric looking excellent sitting there, great contrast to those red coaches, isn't she? And then we'll bring her to a gentle stop just alongside the station here. The story goes that this model got its name Lord Westwood from the name of the gentleman who was chairman of the board of the company at the time, so that's quite a nice story, isn't it? I believe they presented him with a presentation model. And in the foreground here we've got model R455, She was in the catalogue at the same time, also available 73 to 75, and she's got the number 25550 on the side of the tank, and Lord Westwood in the background here has got 2 quadruple 5 on the tender. So people say that these are telephone numbers from the factory. I'm not sure whether there's any truth in that. Maybe somebody does know the numbers of the factory, perhaps 2 different departments. That would be nice, wouldn't it? So they're really fun models, designed to have fun, and I think many hours would have been spent by children and adults, probably many hours running these round circles or ovals of track. And this model has certainly done some running. If we look at her wheels, she's worn right through the plating on her wheels, so she must have done a few miles around the track, I think. Now, as I said earlier, the motors in these tend to give quite a sharp, quick effect, so it's not too easy to keep them running slowly, and especially with this worn through plating, she's not as a smoother runner as she could be. The later model we looked at a few weeks ago, in that wonderful blue with the gold lining, has a completely different sort of motor. If you look at the insert picture there, instead of one of these old EXO type motors, and I believe that the gearing is different as well, so you can get much more control from that slightly later model, but still, these are what they are, for having fun. We're just going to move gently forwards and take advantage of the uncoupling ramp at the end of the platform there and separate off those wagons. There we go, gentle stop, and then we just need to back them up a little so we bring those couplings together so the ramp can do its job when we throw the switch. There we go, and off we go with those coaches now. We're going to work our way around the layout to points number 7 so we can come back onto the outside line, storming into the first radius curve there, and then we'll open points number 7 there. Very well behaved through there again. And we'll switch the points. Now just about to negotiate the incline again. And I think this chuff chuff sound system really does do the trick sometimes if you're careful with it. It makes quite a pleasing noise, but just listen when we drop off the suspension bridge and go down the other side of the elevated section as she picks up speed. Even though I'm backing off the power, I'm still gaining speed here, and it's too quick, and it just now sounds like there's something wrong with the model. And she's beginning to sound better again as we've got control of the speed again. A very simple system, but very effective, I think. And we'll bring her gently to a stop just before the diamond crossing there. And then we'll put the uncoupling ramp down, open points number 11 and switch number 12. And we'll bring that little 040 out. A little bit jerky, we'll bring it to a stop, switch the points again, and we'll pick up those wagons. Slight stutter there. Now I think that's probably it this week. If you look back again next time, we'll have something else from the range to look at. But thanks for watching, it's hugely appreciated. Goodbye now.